There's nothing like it. The excitement of Texas Tech men's basketball. This is KMAC Red Raider Nation's Countdown to Tip-Off.
All right, back here on Countdown to Tip-Off, Texas Tech, Kansas, round 2 at 1 today in Lawrence, a game you can watch on ESPN. Now, unlike the Red Raiders, the Jayhawks have actually played 3 times since the last time Texas Tech was on a court. Harold Kuntz joins us from Kansas City with a breakdown of the last week for KU.
This is Red Raider Nation's The Breakdown.
So Saturday, let's take you back to that date. KU and Iowa State struggled to score. At one point, they both shot under 30%. Yikes. But in the second half, the Jayhawks outscored the Cyclones 40-26 en route to a 64-50 win. Jalen Wilson scored 22 of those points as KU finished the sweep of the Cyclones in 3 days. Bill Self said his team had to lean on defense as they ended up only shooting 36% in that game. But on Wednesday against K-State, once again, KU didn't shoot too well at all. They started warming up in the second half. They did, however, hold K-State to one of its worst scoring outputs in the last 2 decades. The Cats only scored 41 of those points, 6 of which were in the last minute of the game. Marcus Garrett's 14 was enough for the 18-point wins. The wins haven't been pretty, but the defense has been strong.
I think that even though it doesn't maybe look as pleasing watching it, but it's something that our team has to buy into, winning that way. And if we do that, then we can be in the games in the last 5 minutes against the best teams.
These past 2 weeks, we've definitely figured out who we are, what our best defensive strategies are, and I think it's been very obvious of how well we're playing for each other and on the court, on defensive end, and taking it personal when guys score and paying attention to the scouting report. So a lot of those things that maybe we were lacking in January, we fixed now.
Let's take a look at those Big 12 standings. So we talked about Kansas being really hot, and as no surprise, look who's in number 2.
Yeah.
Despite all their issues,
Been so bad,
unranked,
quote, bad.
And yet right below Baylor is Kansas. Although I will say, their last couple games have been against Iowa State and Kansas State heavily, and then to finish the season, they have Texas Tech, Texas, Baylor. So we'll see if it sticks around. Going to the bottom of those standings, it's the usual kind of order. Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, and then TCU, and then a giant gap as big as the Grand Canyon, and then maybe the worst bottom 2 teams we've seen in.
Yeah, when we talked about the 4 makeup games for the Red Raiders, you just want to knock out the 3 that are in this part of the graph.
Hey, get that quad 1 win when you can. You're going to make the tournament anyway, right?
That's
Might as well get the quad 1 win and improve your rankings. Okay, bringing back in Phil Mayer. I don't know if he's written any stories. We'll find out about this one. Okay, Phil, the biggest key for Kansas on this 4-game winning streak as the Jayhawks have kind of moved up the Big 12 standings has been blank.
Defense, and no story on this one, but I'll tell you all about Kansas's defense over the last 4 games. And the Jayhawks may not have that dynamo Big 12 Player of the Year type guy, but the defense has remained really solid, especially in that 4-game winning streak. They've held opponents to 55.25 points per game over those 4 games. And you saw against the Wildcats, they held Kansas State to 17 points in that first half. Marcus Garrett, obviously a great defender. Going up against a more talented Texas Tech team this time, we'll see if it can carry over.
Hopefully you're not writing about the Kansas defense and the recap later today that you can find on everythinglubbock.com. We want to talk about the Red Raider defense.
We are firing on all cylinders today, baby. Rest. No rust here.
No rust. All right, we appreciate it, Phil. We'll get back with you in a bit here on Red Raider Nation Countdown to Tip-Off. Also coming up here on the program, it's time to crash the boards once again. We've got to figure out a headline really quick.
And then we choose our teams and hopefully get some results this time in Take 3.
Warren, you're